been a real funny week. I haven't wanted to really record too much. It's felt very much like I've been in lockdown. It feels like we're really in the sort of like the midst of it. I guess the coldness is sort of here, and it very much feels as though there's nothing really to look forward to too much at the moment, with everything being locked down, no normality. So I hadn't recorded anything for the vlog, so I thought it'd be a good idea to do something a little bit different this week, and maybe something that you guys could get to know me a bit more. So I thought I'd do a little bit about me. And why did I get into hair? Well, part of the reason was that I always used to love going to get my hair cut. I always loved feeling amazing when I walked out of the barbershop or the hairdressers. Actually, it was more the hairdressers that I always felt better of coming out of. When I went to a barbershop, always felt like I never got the haircut that I wanted. Didn't really know where to go. Felt like in the area where I was, in Coventry, where I grew up, there wasn't really that great barbers there. I wanted to make people feel the way that I felt, or when I felt like I'd had a great haircut. That's such a great feeling, to be able to try and provide that to someone else was something that really appealed to me. I've always tried to put a lot of effort into the clothes that I wear. It's always felt like they've been really considered choices. So being involved with like the hair world, it just kind of came as a natural progression. I think when I was playing golf, so back in the day I used to be a golfer. I used to take golf very seriously, and I wanted to be a professional golfer. And I think whenever I was playing golf, I'd always sort of said, well, if the golf doesn't work out, then I'll get into the hair world and be a barber or a hairdresser. Which I think if you've got that in the back of your mind when you're trying to do something, probably that's telling you something that maybe that's the right path to go down in the first place. I used to play golf very seriously. That was the first plan, to become a professional golfer, to try and travel the world and earn money playing golf. After I finished school, I went to a college in Solihull to study golf. I was there for 2 years. I then went to university down in Plymouth to study golf. That university was a bit of a weird one, because you went and spent January to the end of March, so 3 months every year. You went to Portugal just to be able to practice and play golf. So that was not the most amount of schoolwork that was done. It was quite a lot of golf that was being played, to be totally honest with you. But it was all to be able to try and be a professional sports person. I think that's helped me a lot in trying to sort of put a lot of effort into extra things like doing the social media and working hard at being being like a hairdresser and a barber. I think that was instilled in me in trying to be a professional athlete. If you're a professional athlete, you've got to work hard and you've got to put a lot of effort into it. As a youngster, I used to get involved with everything. When I was at school, I used to play every sport. I used to play loads of football. Dad used to come and watch me play football every single Sunday morning. I think I played in virtually every single position. Started off as a forward, then ended up in midfield, and then went all the way to right back. So as I got older, gradually got slower. So ended up working back down the pitch, and I gave up when I was about 13 to focus on the golf more so. So things that I love, I've got a mega soft touch for fizzy drinks. Always the diet version, because I never want to put on too much weight or never want to take on the sugar. I have so many fizzy drinks every single day. Most days I'll also have a Monster, always the sugar-free one. Favourite one is the lemon one. When I was playing football, my dad always used to give me a Red Bull before the start of the match, and then Red Bull at half time. So actually an energy drink now, or a Monster, that does absolutely nothing to me. It never gets me any boost. It just stops me from feeling completely dead, to be totally honest with you. One of the things that's getting me a bit down at the moment is not being able to go and do gym class. I came aware of a couple of years ago, so there's these boutique fitness classes like called Barry's Boot Camp or One Rebel. There's this place called Victor's Soul, and they're like an hour session of just high intensity workouts. You have loud music in there. This is like a group of between 30 and 50 people. You have loud music, you have the lights flashing. It's kind of like a nightclub, but like a gym. So you're like half the time on the treadmill, half the time on the box, working out with weights. And they make you feel so good, and I got into them in the last couple of years, and my God, I'm missing them so much at the moment. During the summer, I did 2 months of One Rebel, set myself like a little challenge. The fittest that I've ever been in my life, and I just felt incredible. I can't wait for them to re-back open so I can start doing those classes again. Peanut butter, got a real soft spot for peanut butter as well. There was a little story that Kasia told me and reminded me of a couple of weeks ago, which I'd completely forgot. Moved out to London 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago, and I didn't really have much money. The first 9 weeks I was doing a college course to learn how to cut hair, so obviously I had no money coming in during that time. And to try and save some money, each week I would buy peanut butter, and I'd buy jam, and I'd buy these tiger rolls which you'd get from Tesco. And for that entire summer, for the first probably 6 months of moving down here, I had peanut butter and jam tiger rolls every single day, because I was that skin. And that's the thing, if you want to go and do something, you've got to make a sacrifice, haven't you, and try and put sort of effort to do it. So you've got to save a bit of money, and that was the only way that I could really do it, so I did it, and I'll be honest, don't regret it at all. I absolutely loved every single day then. I love bread. Always used to hate butter, now I love butter. Whenever we get a new loaf of bread, always get a nice crusty one, cut the end bit off it, spread it with a bit of butter, salt on there, love it. Favourite alcoholic drink? Porn star martini. I have a sweet tooth. Pornstar martinis are really sweet. I love the passion fruit, I love the vanilla, I love the zinginess, gets me every time. I'm not a dog person in the slightest at all actually. I've never wanted really a dog, I've never go near dogs, I'm not a dog person at all actually. But then we got Luna in October, our toy cockapoo, and oh my god, I'm absolutely in love with her. I didn't think I would be as in love as what I am, but that's what happens, isn't it? For me, creating content is something I never thought I would do. It doesn't come naturally to me in the slightest. Like right now, I'm doing this completely away from people so that they don't see me or can't do it. I'm not someone that can just sort of put a camera up and have everyone see me record. But I've known that to sort of try and get further on in my career and to move on, that's something that I've had to do. So the more you do it, the more comfortable you become with doing things like that. Trying to get better, keep trying to learn more, to become more confident in front of the camera. And I definitely have become more confident and comfortable in front of the camera, but it very much doesn't come natural to me at all. I love listening to music. Over the last year or so, actually, I've probably started listening to music a lot less and started listening to more to podcasts. But traditionally, I would go to lots of gigs. I remember the first gig that I ever went to was with my dad. We went to see Spice Girls. Before moving down to London, I used to go to a gig once or twice a week. I'd always get the train over to Birmingham and go and see a gig. And then when I moved to London, I thought I'd come down here and I'd be seeing gigs even more so. I thought we'd be going to a gig every single night. But because there is so much live music going on down here, it's almost take it a little bit for granted. You'd be like, oh, well, actually, I won't go to this one. I'll just go to the one tomorrow night or something like that. So actually, I've ended up going to see less gigs since moving out to London than when I was back home in Coventry. But also, you become way busier down here. The days become longer, the travelling becomes longer, and other things just become more important, don't they? I've got quite a skill when it comes to music because I used to listen to so much music and I would listen to songs over and over. There is an ungodly amount of songs that I know every single lyric to, and if it comes on now, I'd be able to just spit all of those lyrics and get them word for word. It's quite a skill. Massive Harry Potter fan. More so of the books than the movies, although I do love the movies. I've listened to the audio books with Stephen Fry so many times. When I was at university and whenever I was in Portugal, we had to room with other people, so I would always fall asleep with my earphones in, listening to Stephen Fry. I've done 3 half marathons. I think the quickest time I've done is like 1:40. I think definitely within my life I'd like to do one under 1.5 hours. That's something that's definitely a goal for myself. So the plan always was to open my own set of shops and just to, well, I'm about to nip into Co-op. I'm gonna go and get myself a fizzy drink. Cash has got some food. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, press like, and ring that notification bell. Because now I'm a proper YouTuber, I've got to say all those sort of things, haven't I? Thanks a lot for watching today, guys. Have a brilliant rest of your day. Much love, Elliot.